Well, greetings, people of the internet. Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse today. Oh, my cheese grater Mac Pro. What can I say? You see this smile? I'm a very happy person. So anyway, I've always wanted a Mac Pro. I have no use for a Mac Pro. I just wanted one. I thought they were gorgeous, the cheese grater Mac Pros. Now I'm going to strike up a lot of controversy about that. People are like, oh, they're not pretty. They're Macs. Why would a PC person want a Mac? Well, I do occasionally use OS X. I have to support it for my clients. There's some of them that use it. Plus, I just find it a pretty clean, elegant solution compared to Windows. And I don't mind using it. And there are some tasks that I just like to do on a Mac better. And plus, I just want to possess one. Kind of like my Commodore 64 that I've had since I was a kid. I mean, its usefulness has kind of gone to the wayside. But I'll find a use for it. I always do. So, just so you know, the history of this Mac Pro, I purchased this from off of eBay. A friend of mine, Tom, who's one of our Discord managers, found the unit, sent me a link to it, and I looked at it and said, do you mind if I picked it up? And he says, no, go ahead. So I purchased it. It had it shipped here within about a week. And got it here. It's in good condition. I mean, there's some scrapes and scuffs on the side of the case, as you'll see as we move along. But what I wanted to do was, the plan was anyway, was to put a new video card in here, to put a NVMe hard drive in here, because the problem with these Mac Pros is the serial ATA interfaces on them are only SATA 2. So you're limited on the speed. Now this unit came with a spinning hard drive, 640 gig. It came with the NVIDIA video card. The original parts that it came with, in other words. I think it's got 16 or 32 gig of RAM, I don't remember. And a Xeon X processor. I'll put the specs up once I find them again. And so the plan was to put an NVMe drive in here on a little adapter upgrade. I have an RX 580 video card, AMD gigabyte video card I wanted to put in it, and put OS X Monterey on there. Well, life is never easy, and especially dealing with Macs is never easy. So yeah, let's discuss what I had to go through to get that to work. The plan was to disassemble this thing. You see it's got some dust in it. It's a little dirty. Was to disconnect it, disassemble, and rejigger everything and make it look all pretty. But then I got to thinking, no. And then the other plan was to just install OS X to the internal hard drive, spinning hard drive. So I've taken, it came with a 640 gig hard drive, and it's only SATA 2. That's the other problem with this. So I'll leave this out for now, and I'll put it aside and use it as a, oh, I see, it just slides across there. And use it as a, oh, that's how you lock it. That's how you, okay, how do you unlock it now? Oh, that's how you unlock it. So I'll just leave it out for now, and we'll go with this SSD drive, or NVMe SSD drive. And boy, oh boy, they don't ever want you to get into these things. So I've ordered this little card. I'm going to need some skizzers. So I've ordered this little card from the lovely folks at Ampcom, and I got it via Amazon. And then we're going to attempt using OpenCore to install Monterey. Now, I've already had some failures with this, which is another reason I'm going back to using, or I'm going to go and try to use the NVMe drive, because the process to install OS X off of a USB drive is already bad enough. And then you add to that the fact that you're using spinning Rust, and then you add to the fact that it's only SATA 2 interface. Yeah, it all just kind of combines together to be something that may not be a good idea. Here's the NVMe drive. It's only 256 gig. So the finished product is this, and that should just go in that available slot here. Cool. And then this little bracket goes back in. It holds everything like so. Alright, so that should be it. So it's an Ampcom, and then it's an Inland NVMe SSD. Okay, now in the front I've got my USB disk. Now then, let's power her on. Alright, so now, see if I can get some stuff around here. Alright, so I'm booting off of the OpenCore USB installer I created on my other Mac and hoping that it will bring me up to the recovery screen, and it looks like it is. So the first thing I want to do is come down here to Disk Utility. Let's see if it sees my hard drive in there, or my NVMe SSD. Show all devices. There it is. There's an Inland NVMe SSD media that it sees. So what I need to do is erase this. And we're just going to call this Mac Pro. We're going to do APFS. And I don't know, do we leave it as APFS and GUID, or do we turn it as APFS and APFS? Hang on, let me find out. Okay, so that's right, it is APFS and it is GUID for the partition map. So I just wanted to make sure. So we'll click on erase. Alright, it's done. So now we can close Disk Utility, and now let's do the install. And we'll continue. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and agree. And agree again. And this time I'm going to install it on my Mac Pro. Continue. And we'll let it run, and hopefully if something else comes up, I'll get it on screen before Apple wipes it out. So we'll let this install run. So right here, I want to make sure the power is disconnected. So I purchased this little OWC Mount Pro Plus, or Mount Pro 2.5. I've got my Kingston SSD drive in there, and then drive number 2, I had a Seagate 1 terabyte drive left over, so I figured, hey, throw it in here, might as well use it, right? So I've got that one in here. Oop. Don't want to pinch those cables. And then I got this one is the boot drive, and it fits down there. Then I bought these cables to give power to the video card. I'm using an RX 580 video card, gigabyte, in here, and that is the only PCI card I have in here. Now initially I had purchased this unit right here, this Ampcom PCI, and it did kind of work. The problem I had was getting OS X Monterey to boot reliably off this thing. So I don't know if it's a problem with the NAND flash, or with an AND card or with the PCI Express card, but I just gave up on it and went to an internal SSD. And then this, of course, is the NVIDIA card, the Mac NVIDIA card that comes with the unit. But I'm going to go ahead and button the unit up, and then I'm going to bring it up and do some testing on it. Everything so far is working really well. So now that I get everything in there, I want to put it all together, then I want to bring it up, I want to test it for a while, we'll see how it runs, and then we'll put it in its permanent home. Now this is a real Mac from Apple, right? So you think I would just be able to put parts in it and install Monterey on there and be done with it, but no, that's not the way it works. There are a couple of different ways to skin the cat. You can use DOS Dude's patcher, which will allow you to install an unsupported operating system, and anything after about, I don't know, some version of OS X is not supported on this Mac Pro. And basically because you need Metal support in the graphics card because they use accelerated graphics as part of the base of the operating system. So that was part of the problem, which is why I wanted to put the AMD RX 580 video card in there. And like I said, life is never easy. So I could have gone the DOS Dude route and just, kind of used his software. But instead, I decided to go with the OpenCore bootloader, because they make one specifically for older Macs to get you to be able to run things like Big Sur and Monterey. And so I did my research, and I did some studying, and I ordered some parts before the Mac Pro even came in. And one of those parts that I ordered was this Ampcom M2 NVMe to PCI 4 full speed adapter. And then I ordered an Inland NVMe SSD drive to go onto that. And so here's the card right here, and it's very simple. You just put your NVMe drive on there like I have, and you basically plug it into a PCI slot, and bing bang boom, you're ready to go. But like I said, life is never that easy. So I had nothing but trouble. Problem after problem after problem. I tried Big Sur, I tried Monterey, I tried an older version of OS X, the versions prior to that. And no matter what I did, I could not get this Mac to reliably boot off of this card. To the point where I spent 2 whole 8-hour days on this. And finally I spoke with Tom, and I said, Tom, because Tom bought one of these as well. And I said, Tom, why did you tell me your specs? What did you put in? He said, well, I put this in it, put this in it. I said, let me ask you, what are you booting off of? And he goes, well, I'm booting off an SSD drive just plugged into the to the sled, and I'm just using it that way. And I was like, wow. The reason I didn't want to go that route is because it's only SATA 2 speed, right? So I'm going to take a performance hit. I wanted the speed of this NVMe, and we may come back to this eventually. I had an SSD laying around, so I put it into this unit, and started all over again from scratch. And it worked. It worked with the old video card in there, because you have to initially load your Mac OS with the video card that's in there. Otherwise, you don't get a boot screen. So once I did that and got Monterey loaded, once I got Monterey loaded, I was then able to run OpenCore, and then to install the patches that would allow me to have a boot screen. The problem is, if you don't use a card that's made by Apple and flashed with their BIOS or firmware, you don't get a boot screen on a traditional Mac. So my card is not flash. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to use OpenCore, is so I could get that boot screen and put it in verbose mode and watch it boot up. So once I got the system to boot reliably off the SSD drive, then I took this card out and added the RX 580, and it was trivial. It just came right up and detected the card and no problems whatsoever. And then, well, let's go look at some of the footage of what I had to go through to put this thing together. And I may end up putting this thing back in. This is going to be a work in progress. This cheese grater Mac is going to be a work in progress. If not, I've got plenty of other things I could use that PCI card on. It's just kind of a bummer that I didn't get it to work reliably. And it may just be a problem with the brand I'm using. Maybe the timings are just a little bit off in this thing. This thing doesn't have a helper chip on it or anything. It's got basically a filter capacitor on there, and that's it. And then it, you just got a direct interface. So I'll do a little more research and I'll let you know how it works out. But so far, so good. I have run Monterey on there now. I haven't done the updates to Monterey. I just got the system up and running, and in fact, I'm running the Heaven benchmark on it right now, and it's doing fine. And now I actually have a Mac Pro in my collection, so this will be going down on the floor under the bench. And it'll be in addition to my Mac Mini, and yeah, I'm happy with the purchase. What I'm going to use it for, I don't know. Maybe I'll put a video editor on there and try to edit some video on it. Just play around with it. Now I could, in theory, put a better Xeon processor on there, and I might do that. They're like $15 for the Xeon processors right now. You can also get a dual tray. This Mac has got trays that pull in and out, and I could, in theory, get one with 2 CPUs, but I just don't see me doing that ever. But like I say, what I may do is get a upgraded Xeon processor. Now, when this thing is running Heaven benchmark, it's pulling about 250 watts. When I turn the power on, the lights flicker on my bench, so it's quite a pig when it comes to power. So this thing won't be running all the time. It'll be in sleep mode most of the time, but I think it's a nice addition to the other computers I have here at Uncle Joe's Playhouse, and I'll probably use it for a couple of more years before it's totally worthless to me. But as long as you can run a browser on it, with OS 10, then you're golden. And so now that I'm on Monterey, I know they'll be supporting it for, a couple more years on the Intel. So I should be good to go. Let's hope. So we hope you found the video entertaining and informative. As always, please give us a thumbs up down below if you liked it. Leave your comments down in the comments section. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and click that notification bell to be notified of new videos when they come out. Donate if you're so inclined. We accept PayPal, Patreon, and the YouTube join function. Join us on our Discord server, and if you're a PayPal or Patreon or YouTube subscriber, you get access to some exclusive content we have over on Discord. So go check it out. Links are down in the description under the video. So, hey, listen, thanks again for coming to see us. Thanks for taking us to 10,000 subs. And thanks for, enjoying the content. And if you have any ideas of something you want to see, you let us know. Otherwise, we'll see all of you on the other side.